9 o'clock. We are broadcasting on YouTube. My computer is having some issues, so I can't see any booking sheets. Is there anyone here who is planning to request a continuance? Madam Clerk, do you mind if I look over your shoulder? Is that okay? All right, so we do have Ms. Santini here for the state. Mr. Casassa, if you could put the case dial on the record again, just because I don't have access to my computer yet. All right. Yeah. We'll ask the clerk to double check. I might have to turn it off and start over again. Okay. Yes, sir.
So let's do James Chevy. Case number 21CT49. It's charged with DUI, Judge.
Yes, sir.
We have a negotiated plea worked out.
Okay.
However, Mr. Chevy, I don't know if it has something to do with the pandemic, but he's been unable to sign up for DUI school. So I think the state has no problem with case number 4 negotiated.
With a waiver?
With a waiver.
Ms. Santini? All right, so you want to go to a pretrial conference docket?
That's probably best, Judge.
All right, so sir, we're going to continue your case to July 7th at 9 o'clock. That's a pretrial conference docket. Stay in touch with Mr. Casassa, and he'll tell you whether you need to be in court on that day, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
One-on-one judge continuance.
Yes, sir.
Manuel Morales. It's for the record 20MM466.
All right, good morning, Mr. Morales.
Judge, I thought we had an agreement in place to enter a plea today, and I guess the state has been consulting with the victim. The plea offer is kind of blown up.
Okay.
So I think we need some more time to negotiate that.
Allegedly. All right, so the request is a continuance to pretrial.
With a waiver, Judge.
Any objection, Ms. Santini? All right, same date for you, Mr. Morales, July 7th at 9 o'clock. Yes, sir, thank you. Now, Mr. Casassa, you said you have a couple. Do you have any others? Or
I
is
had
it?
2 pleas, Judge.
Okay.
Well, one is that.
Okay, sorry, I'll fix this as soon as you can. Might have to call somebody.
Not really. Not at all. Not at all.
Mr. Verderamo.
Good morning, I have Casey Trevino, page 57, CT 780. July 8th.
With a waiver?
Yes.
Ms. Santini, any objection? And you said Trevino.
Yes.
All right, so Trevino is continued to July 7th, 9 o'clock for a pretrial conference. Mr. Day.
Page 7, Brandon Williams, 11/20/2030.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully I'm gonna have to make a decision and soon.
Okay.
Whatever I make.
Well, when you say soon, I've got a plea date on 6/23. That's only 9 days, or we can go to pretrial July 7th. I can take pleas in absentia at pretrial as well.
Let's do the pre-trial that way. I'm sure I'll have that since I was still.
All right, and you said Williams.
Yes.
Continue to July 7th, pretrial 9 o'clock. My computer is now shutting down. I don't think that sounds good, but any other continuances? Okay, so Madam Clerk, I guess I could do some pleas if I can see booking sheets. Can you? Okay, and I'll take you up on that, but in the meantime, can you see if Larry is available to come down here and fix my computer? Or Edgar? I did. I tried to. It says shutting down. Okay, so Mr. Verderamo, who do you have?
I have Tom Kessler, AESLER,
All right, now what's the charge?
it's a DUI first.
All right, is this a plea in absentia?
No,
He's here. Okay, he can come on up. Yes, sir. Thank you. Okay. I didn't know we still have it. Well, I can appreciate that. That happens. Okay, Mr. Kessler, can you raise your right hand, face the clerk to be sworn? Okay, you can put your hand down. Mr. Verderamo.
Judge, before the court, this is definitely to withdraw statement or plead not guilty, no contest, DUI for offense. State made an offer of adjudication of guilt, $1,000 fine, all costs, 12 months of probation, may apply for early termination after 6 months. With a 6-month revocation of his driving privileges, we request that the court can indicate legal objection to hardship license on the judgment. DUI scope, which he has completed, follow all recommendations, which would include a substance abuse evaluation, random testing, there's no alcohol provision. He does work as a server, so we're gonna ask for a workplace exemption to allow him to serve. Continue to work, there's a 10-day vehicle impound, 50 hours community service, and a victim effective.
All right, again, so just because I don't have the information, this is below 1.5. This is a first offense over 08.
Correct.
Okay, sir, tell me your name, please. Mr. Kessler, I'm going to go over that offer with you again. There's a lot to it for a DUI. I want to make sure you understand the offer, answer any questions you may have about it. The offer is an adjudication of guilt, 12 months of probation with all of the following terms and conditions, which you must complete at the latest in the first 11 months. Although Mr. Verderamo did negotiate the possibility of early termination at 6 months if you're successful by then. The conditions include DUI school, appropriate phase, substance abuse evaluation, follow recommendations, 1 victim impact panel, no possession or consumption of alcohol, no entering bars, taverns, saloons, pubs, or lounges, no alcohol in your residence, random testing at your expense, court cost prosecution, a $1,000 fine, a 6-month driver's license revocation. I don't have any objection to a hardship license if you're otherwise eligible, but please understand, just because I say that does not make it automatic. Listen to Mr. Verderamo, talk to DHSMB and ask them what you have to do to obtain one. 10-day vehicle impoundment, 50 hours of community service. When I said no entering bars, taverns, saloons, pubs, or lounges, that's with the exception of work purposes. I do want you to go to work. Obviously, you can't consume alcohol while you're there, and you have to leave when your shift is over. You understand all that? Any questions about the offer? Do you want to accept the offer? All right, the prosecutor has some questions for you as well. Ms. Santini? All right, one question, Ms. Santini. The booking sheet says on a number of occasions, I think actually just twice, that he almost hit other vehicles. Just to clarify, there were no accidents involved in this case. So restitution is not an issue.
No restitution, no property damage.
Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Verderamo, will you stipulate to venue and the factual basis contained in the discovery material? All right, Mr. Kessler, I'll accept your plea, find it freely, voluntarily, knowingly entered upon a factual basis and in your best interest, adjudication, judgment, and sentence as I previously stated. Thank you, sir, and good luck to you. Civil infraction?
There's also a civil infraction, which is the basis of the encounter requested to be discussed by the motion.
Granted.
Thank you.
Can we give Larry just a minute and see? sign into your account, sign out, close. Now we're back to the main page. Just like I would if I'm signing. This is a big problem. I can continue my document. So is my profile signed out though? Yeah. So I don't need to do anything to the computer? Okay, thank you, I appreciate it. Okay, so we are back in session. My computer is not working. So be patient. Mr. Casassi, you have hard copies. I don't even have key styles though. If you could put that on the record.
Jose Gerardo Enriquez.
All
Two
right.
cases, Judge, 21 MM 277 in that charge. And there is 21 MM 278, which is a paraphernalia charge.
278.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right. Good morning, sir. Will you please raise your right hand, face the clerk to be sworn? All right, Mr. Casassi. Thank you.
Because there were two cases on case number 21 MM 277 in that charge, we agreed to adjudication of guilt. All costs, including cost of prosecution, 12 months probation, needs to be evaluated for anger management, following in all recommendations. No trespass at 12275 Collier Boulevard, place called Chates, MOLCAJETES, including the indoor and outdoor bar, and no contact with the alleged victim. On case number 21278, which is a possession of paraphernalia charge, adjudication of guilt, 12 months supervised probation concurrent with case number 21 MM 277. Substance evaluation following in all recommendations.
All right, and Mr. Manriquez, with respect to the anger management and the battery charge and the substance abuse on the paraphernalia charge, I would require you to sign up for those programs within 30 days of today's date as additional requirements of your probation. Do you understand that? All right, Ms. Santini, yes.
Clarify, Judge, he's going to sign up for an evaluation.
Exactly. And follow recommendations. I understand that may take beyond the 30-day period, but I want them to begin the process. Okay, Ms. Santini, has that offer been relayed to the alleged victim?
Yes, Your Honor, and there's no restitution.
All right, so you agree with the terms articulated by Mr. Casassa?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, are you going to qualify the plea?
Ms. Newkirk.
And it's Newkirk? Ms. Newkirk, okay, are you a CLI at the State Attorney's Office?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're ready to qualify a plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Mr. Manriquez, Ms. Newkirk has some questions for you. In both cases? All right, and Mr. Casas, I do have a booking sheet here, but it just addresses the battery. I'm curious about the... No, sir.
Let's try that again.
I can now return these to Mr. Casas. Thank you.
Judge, I think, I don't know if it's using the same one. The fair training was found as he was being booked.
Same incident? Okay, let me just take a look at this, thank you. And while I'm reading this, Mr. Casassa, will you stipulate to venue and the factual basis contained in the discovery material in both cases? And this booking sheet does address the paraphernalia. Okay, Mr. Manriquez, I will accept your, sorry, I need this. Accept your plea to both cases, find your pleas freely, voluntarily, knowingly entered upon a factual basis and in your best interest. And 21 MM 277, that's the battery charge, adjudication of guilt, court cost prosecution, 12 months of probation, anger management. The evaluation again must occur within 30 days of today's date. No trespass at the location indicated previously by Mr. Casassa. Did you get that? And I'm sorry, I passed that booking sheet back, so I can't repeat it, but it's what Mr. Casassa said. You know where it is, right? You can't go back.
Oh, yeah.
All right, and no contact with the alleged victim. Thank you. In 21 MM 276, that's the paraphernalia charge. It's an adjudication of guilt, court cost prosecution, 12 months of probation concurrent with the other case. That means it runs at the same time. Substance abuse evaluation within 30 days of today's date. Follow recommendations. Ms. Santini.
I just wanted to correct Your Honor, it's 278.
278. Okay, thank you. 21 MM 278. All right, and all terms and conditions to be completed at the latest in the first 11 months of your probationary period. Okay, Mr. Manriquez, thank you, sir, and good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Mr. Pashore? You ready? Okay, thank you. Are your clients here, Mr. Pershore? I can't call anybody. I don't have a computer. All right, let me go over here. Mr. Day. Thank you. Mr. Day, again, I can't call any of them.
Yes, sir. Page 6, we have Grace Warner, 11, 20, 167. Present, Your Honor. Warner, Judge.
Warner or Werner? A or B?
W-E-R-N-E-R.
Thank you. Mr. Werner, all right.
We're ready.
For trial.
Yes, sir.
State ready for trial?
For one day,
You thought we were in a resolution posture? All right, well, so what day is an interesting question, Mr. Day. This is a trial week. It's also the very last week with the mask requirement. I don't know how you feel about conducting a trial this week.
It doesn't matter to me, Judge, but I would remind you that the last county vote did tell you I have Lee County trial set on the 16th this week. We did the 16th
All right,
this week.
okay.
So I don't know if you want to put it on the next calendar, I'm fine with that, or wherever you want to put it.
Here's my dilemma. I've got 3 open days next week. We can try it. What we're supposed to do, we've been directed to contact the jury clerk. And Madam Clerk, I don't know if you can answer this, probably not, about juror availability. Just because we're reopened next week, it takes time to send out the notices to summon people in for jury duty. And if all of the judges in the building start setting trials at once, we may have an availability issue. So I made that phone call this morning. I didn't get an answer. So I don't know. We can try next week, for example, the 22nd, Tuesday or Thursday, and I can look into that and let you all know as soon as possible. Or we can go to pretrial on July 7th. It's your choice.
Frankly, Judge, it doesn't matter to me, we need to try things that I know I'm having this problem in every room, so I don't know what to do other than just do the best we can. So wherever you want to set it, works easiest for the county.
Okay, so I think you said your client's in the courtroom, so we don't have somebody sitting in the jail.
No,
Are your witnesses local or out of state or any issue?
no issues with that.
Ms. Santini, how about you? Are all of your witnesses local?
I just have one officer and it looks like he's available, yes, he's local.
All right, let's go to July 7th pretrial. I think that'll be easier and our juror availability issue should be resolved by the next cycle.
I'll have it signed for that date.
Can you give us the case number one more time?
Yes, sir, it's 11/20/2167.
All right, thank you.
And also, we did have to, other case with 16685, that we had put on today's date was, he was not represented.
I think his request on that, Judge, I don't represent one, that would be just July, same July date, let's see what we can do with all.
All right, so both cases with Mr. Werner continued to pretrial July 7th. And Mr. Werner, once you sign your notices, you're free to go. And Mr. Hopkins, you're next, sir. We just need just another minute to get out our notices, and then we're ready to go. Madam, good morning. Madam Clerk, you good? Okay, Mr. Hopkins.
This is William Patterson, 202550. Like I said, your status here today. Your Honor, this case involves the motion, principles, comments, evaluation. Whenever I was at pre-trial, it wasn't showing the showcase. That's the reason I said it here today. I have a proposal here, just so we do and review also with an expert that's on the courts. And this, that's free to, so I'm here to submit that to your honor today, so you have a big vote. I recognize you also, don't have access to your computer, maybe you use. But I will tell you, there's a basis for the fish request.
Well, I accept that, and Ms. Santini, you agree, right? All right, so I'm happy to review your order. I just would need you to put the case number on the record again for me, please.
Yes, your honor. The defendant's name is State B. William Patterson, 20CT2550.
And would the request then be July 7th pretrial?
Correct.
Okay, so this case, Madam Clerk, continued to July 7th, and I'm happy to look at that order. Yes, sir. All right, and Ms. Santini, this is the order you've reviewed and you agreed to? All right, thank you. Okay, order is signed. Mr. Hawkins. Yes, sir, thank you. Mr. Lucarelli. Morning. All right, good morning, Ms. Dowd. Will you please raise your right hand, face the clerk to be sworn? Okay, so let me just clarify, this is 20 CT 2618, is that right? And we have a DUI and a VOP?
It's not a VOP, it was a violation of probation. And I'm sorry, violation of our pre-trial release.
Your Honor, we have previously seen a previous suspension bond and then resolution, where this applicant
To this one case, case number and one count,
Yes.
which is DUI, first offense over 08.
it's a second, or
Second within 5.
damage.
Oh, second within 5, okay. Mr. Lucarelli, any chance you have a hard copy of the booking sheet? All right, Ms. Dowd, did you just take an oath? All right, so Mr. Lucarelli, can you tell us the terms, please? You can do that with probation, and I'll explain that to Ms. Dowd. I'm sure you all have already discussed it anyway.
5-year driving license suspension, DUI school social service, open law, all terms, 30 vehicle comment,
Okay. Is this Miss Newkirk or is this Miss Santini? Okay, I'm sorry, Miss Rodriguez. Okay, do you agree with the terms that Mr. Lucarelli just articulated? All right, and I'm going to go over them again, and then I'll ask you to qualify the plea, okay? Okay, ma'am, can you tell me your name? All right, let's go over all of that again to make sure you understand it and to make sure I have it right. There's a lot to it. I believe the offer that's been made to you is an adjudication of guilt, 12 months of probation with no possibility of early termination, and all of the following terms and conditions which you must complete in the first 11 months of your probation. DUI school appropriate phase, substance abuse evaluation, follow recommendations, 1 victim impact panel, no possession or consumption of alcohol, no entering bars, taverns, saloons, pubs, or lounges, no alcohol in your residence, random testing at your expense, all costs, which include court costs and costs of prosecution, a $2,000 fine, a 5-year driver's license revocation, 10 days in jail, which may be served on the weekend lockdown program. You get credit for the time you've already served. We'll talk more about that in just a minute. A 30-day vehicle impoundment and a 2-year ignition interlock device. Do you understand that offer? Just 1 second. Let me ask the attorney something. Mr. Lucarelli, did I get everything?
You did, Your Honor. With the one exception, we asked you to see those work.
And that's her question too. Okay. Miss Rodriguez, did I get all of the terms? Okay, so when I say no entering bars, taverns, or saloons, or pubs or lounges, with the exception of work purposes, you are allowed to continue to work. You can't consume alcohol while you're there or at any time, and you have to leave as soon as you're done, okay? You understand that? Okay, now, let's talk about the jail time. You get credit for the time you've already served, which might be a day or 2 days, depending on how long you spent in jail when you were arrested. The balance of that can be served on the weekend lockdown, and the name of that is a little bit misleading. It doesn't have to be on the weekend. If you work in a bar or a restaurant, you may work Saturdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays. So it just has to be 48 consecutive hours. You can check in on a Tuesday by 6 p.m., you're released Thursday by 6 p.m., or Wednesday to Friday, Monday to Wednesday. But it has to be the same every week. You can't change that. So once you make your decision, it's final, you've got to stick to that schedule. You understand all that? Okay, any questions? Okay, so Ms. Rodriguez has some questions for you. Ms. Rodriguez. Yep, I said substance abuse evaluation, appropriate phase, file recommendation. I forgot restitution. All right, Mr. Rodriguez, you agree that the booking sheet indicates there was an accident, right? And so restitution was a part of the offer? All right, Mr. Lucarelli, do you agree? Ms. Dowd, I forgot to mention that. So another condition is I would order restitution in reserve on the amount. What does that mean? That means I have to articulate that today just to reserve jurisdiction so that I can address it in the future. Right now, the state is looking into whether any restitution is owed. If they determine that they believe restitution is owed, they'll convey that amount to Mr. Lucarelli, who will convey it to you, and then you decide whether you want to agree to that amount or not. If you agree to it, it becomes part of your probation. You have to pay it. If you don't agree with the amount, then they'll set a hearing in front of me. I'll listen to the evidence and I'll decide the amount. You understand that? So that's something I didn't say originally, but that would be a condition of probation. So I would order restitution reserve on the amount. With that understanding, do you still want to accept the plea offer? Mr. Lucarelli, will you stipulate to venue and the factual basis contained in the discovery material? So maybe there's no restitution, okay. So Ms. Dowd, I'll accept your plea, find it freely, voluntarily, knowingly entered upon a factual basis and in your best interest, adjudication, judgment, and sentence as I previously stated. Thank you, ma'am, and good luck to you. All right, Mr. Pashore, are you ready?
Yes, sir. I believe the first case is 19
2458. And who's that?
It's last name Doris, Ben.
Okay.
Correct?
Did you say correct?
Yes.
I don't know, my computer doesn't work. I don't have anything in front of me.
You said for status and for mandatory appearance of the defendant.
Okay, is she here?
I do not see the defendant, and I believe our office has resolved the call. Efforts to contact the defendant.
All right, so we'll address FTAs and potential bench warrants at the end of the docket. Let's take the folks who are here.
Okay, the other one we have today, Your Honor, is 20-1733.
Who's that?
It's a last name Smith, Tario, T-A-R-I-U-M.
And you have two cases, both FTAs. Well, all right, we'll take those at the end of the docket. Ladies, are you three just observing? Okay, so, sir in the front row, what is your name? What is your name? Do you show a pro se on the docket? This gentleman? Do you have a case number there? All right. Can you tell where he's supposed to be? You did well. Do we know where Judge Adams is? 3B, next door, other courtroom. Oh, or 1B. He's gonna set on the right path. Thank you, though. Ma'am, what is your name? You know. So are you all CLIs with the state as well? Ms. Santini, you have a lot of help today. These three. I remember, okay, yeah. Okay, Ms. Newkirk and Ms. Rodriguez, nice to meet you too. Great job with your pleas, your plea colloquies, very good. Was that your first time doing a plea colloquy? First time speaking in court? And you nailed it, great job. You're off to a good start. Madam Clerk, any luck on Ms. Escobar? You need to follow them, man. Wrong courtroom. So, Ms. Santini, can you tell me how many cases we have left on our docket? We've got to be getting close. The two cases with Mr. Pashore? All right, so let's recall Ms. Doris, 19 MM 2458. I'll note on the record that we have no other defendants in the courtroom, so we need to review the file for notice. Madam Clerk, I'm sorry to do this, but I've got to come over and look over your shoulder to see if she was noticed for today. And there's a notice in the court file for today's date, 6/14 at 9 o'clock. It's 9:42. This was mailed to the defendant, no indication that it was returned. We can go down and see what the bond was. Okay. All right, so she was properly noticed and she's not here. Ms. Newkirk, request from the state. Okay. She had the previous bench warrant for 2,000 Northwest. Okay, so it's a bench warrant, $4,000 bond. All right, and the next case with Mr. Pashore is 20 MM 1733, Mr. Smith. I believe, okay. He's not in the courtroom either. Reviewing the file for notice. Terry Smith, there's a notice to appear in the court file for 6/14, 9 o'clock, it's 9:43, he's not here. And it was mailed, not returned. Not returned. Okay, so he was properly noticed, he's not here. Request, Ms. Rodriguez. All right, does it show what his previous bond was? Okay. Bench warrant, $4,000 bond. And I believe that completes our docket. Is there anything further to come before the court? Okay, I need to sign 2 bench warrants, but otherwise.